Welcome to my YouTube channel, Share Your Coding Experience. In the previous video, we were checking a program and we were just discussed about what was the problem we were facing prior to Java 5. And by using Java 5, what kind of benefit we are getting out of it actually. Okay. And then there are unnecessary class cast exception. I mean unnecessary casting we removed, and then no need to do explicit casting. Then automatic compiler at the moment you trying to add an incorrect value, compiler prevents shows the compilation problem. Okay, so it's basically a powerful addition to the Java language because it makes the programmer's job easier and less error prone. Right? Not only that one, but most importantly, it empowers the programmers to write a generic program and generic algorithms. Right? Let's get into more deep examples, more examples. Let's so similar to this list. Let us explore a few more examples. Okay, so in this one we are going to define a class which is called the class name called pair. You guys have heard about this class, or you guys have already used it in your project or many places. Okay, I'm repeating this pair because this is a perfect example to understand a generic class. Okay, so I didn't run. Okay, this one. Let me run it again so that you know. Okay. So it works fine. Everything looks okay. Perfectly all right. Okay. Now I am going to write a simple, the class. Okay. Before I'm getting to pair class, that's okay. Let's see pair class. Private string data1 and private string data2. So in this class, we wanted to store two values, data1 and data2. Right. Let me generate the constructor with these two variables, and then let me generate a getter function for these two variables. All right. Now I'm just removing these all lines for time being. Don't want this one anymore. So this is what the class. Now look at this class pair. So what there are two attributes, data1 and data2. In this object of this pair, we can only store, see, let's say pair is equal to pair, new pair. Okay, I can pass. If I pass 20 and 20 or any numeric, it doesn't come back because this particular class expecting two string parameters. So this is not suitable for, it's not a generic, right? It's not a generic nature because the moment, most importantly, right, the moment you mention the data type, like explicit data type, then it's not a generic in nature. Okay, it is not generic in nature, so that's a problem. See, it's not a generic. So how do we define a generic class? All we have to do is what data type, can we make it as generic? There are another way you can make it as a you can store any data type. All you have to do this, you can do this way, but this is again, okay, you can do this one, but remember the problem what we are going to face this year is okay, so you can also do this way, but this is not a, it isn't going to help. Okay, for example, let's say string value data1 is equal to pair dot get. See, you can't, because though we store two value, but wherever you want to assign it back, you have to first of all imagine this variable you pass to another in a function somewhere else. There is no clarity, like it's always says object, right? Always says object. And if you try to typecast it, you can, if you're sure during runtime the string is stored, then you can convert it like so. Wherever you want to get that value, you have to convert it. But similarly, we have seen this kind of issues, right? Like, if you do accidental conversion, let's say that we are storing a integer inside this object, but when you try to convert double, it throws the class cast exception. So this was the problem we were facing, right? So by using this object, it doesn't going to solve our problem. So this is object is not the right solution at all. And you need to convert wherever you could. If there is anything goes wrong, I mean, if the the value goes wrong, then it throws the class cast exception. So this is not generic nature. So to make a class as a generic, all we have to do is just remove the type. Instead of giving a type, what we have to do, just symbol, just put as some letter. Don't worry about what letter. Okay, I'm just putting as a D. Then what we need to do is just say, you have to say to the class, okay, my pair, I'm passing a letter D using upper, I know less than greater than sign. Within that one, I put a letter, and then I put that letter. I move, replace the data type with the letter, and wherever I'm using data type, I will put the I'll replace with that letter, which is a D. All right. Don't use the object. Using objects doesn't want to help you, and it's unnecessary casting. Everywhere you have to do cast it. Okay. Now what we have to do is, okay, now what we need to do is, when you need to tell this, remember what we have done with the list of numbers, we have to tell the compiler. Unless until you tell the compiler could not do anything, right? You have to tell the compiler, okay, what type of data you're going to store. So you're saying, okay, I'm going to store integer, and then you have to say, okay, new pair, and you have to use this operator. It is called diamond operator. So now you can see a compilation problem. Why the compilation problem? Because as part of the definition, we said, okay, the pair class, okay, which accepts a parameters, or just a D, it's a parameters. It indicates it accepts a type of kind of. So then we said, okay, it's a D of data 2. That means whatever data type you are passing to this integer, it's this particular letter, not, then the data 1 or data 2 will be treated as that given type. So here we said, okay, the pair is going to store integer variables, integer values. So then if you want to, then you can't just pass the num. You have to pass as a, no, you can't pass as a string. You have to pass as integer. So it compiles correctly. Now let's say we are taking the value is equal to pair dot. So you're getting the value perfect. So there's no compilation. Compiler prevents the mistake. Okay. Now see, we have only one letter, right? So, or both. So like, imagine you want to store two different values. If you want to store two different values, you can you said you can use a DE, for example, D or E, or you can say D1 and D2. For example, I am just for anyway we already used a D. I'm using another letter, any letter. It doesn't matter. You can have a one letter. You can also use a two letters. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now I'm just using as a E. Then we talk about these letters, and there are some recommendations from the Java. We'll talk about that one later. Now we are saying, okay, I am one of the first one represents the data 1. The data type of a first variable, first letter represents for data 1, and the second variable represents the data 2 data type. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to change that to E, and we have to change the return type of get data to E. Now, if you look at this particular line number 7, all right, it's now it shows some compilation issue. Why? Because as part of the definition of pair class, we said, okay, it takes two parameters, but now we are passing only one parameter. So now we can say, okay, I'm saying, okay, my second variable is a double. So the moment you pass as a double, now you look at this particular, now this assignment is now giving a trouble. Which it says, if you keep the cursor here, it says cannot infer. Why it cannot infer? Because we said the pair class going to store the first variable or the first attribute is an integer, and the second one is a double. But when we're passing the value to that particular object, to the constructor, we pass two integers. That is where the problem starts. Okay, now we can put this. See, now the compiler. This is what the beauty, right? Now if you take the second value, double D is equal to double D is equal to, you can say pair dot get data to. See, you can see the compiler, edit everything, it recognizes what type of data we are storing and what data type we are getting it back from the object. See, it compiles correctly. All right. So if you just define a symbol pair class, and then we declare two letters, then we said it's going to store two attributes, and then we pass those different. Now let's say we can do this one more. Okay, now I can say pair 2 and pair 3. In the pair 2, I can say first one is a string and second one is a long. So the moment you change the data type, the compiler shows the problem. So what we have to do is we have to make it as first one is a string and second one is a not. See, it compiles. See, the moment you use two different variable, the another advantage is it support any type, any different data type, any like a two different type. Not only two different type, it also supports a same type. For example, you can say string and string. See, it shows the compilation problem. I can pass test, comma, test. See, it compiled. There's no issues. So that is the benefit. That means the moment whenever you passing more than it doesn't matter, like even the letters are different. That doesn't mean that we can it says you can have two parameters. When you say two parameter, it the two different data type, or you can it also supports same data type. All right. I hope you guys understand this one, and I'll be talking more detail about this pair class in my next video. Once again, thank you very much for watching. See you.